Hey guys, welcome back to Ask Nanny Q. So, we're doing another live reaction to an email. This one I'm about to... My baby daddy and his friends. I feel like I need a drink before I start reading this, but I'm a read it. I'm gonna read it. Hey Nanny Q, I'm writing to you because I actually need some real advice. I am stuck between a rock and a hard place and I don't know what to do. Okay, let's see. I have a 6-month-old and I have a 2-year-old. My 6-month-old father and my 2-year-old father are the same people. Okay. My problem is he doesn't want to work. He stays at home, so I work most of the time. He plays a game and he makes sure that the kids eat and do things around the house, but he doesn't do any educational time with them. He doesn't make sure that they go outside, they play. He doesn't make sure that they take a nap during the day. It's so many things wrong with the situation. However, I can't afford childcare at the time. He plays the game all day. He always makes excuses of why he can't get up and find a job. The last time he told me he didn't want to be away from his family. This is why he didn't take the job that was an hour and a half away. So I've been working 2 jobs for the last year. I don't get a chance to spend a lot of time with the kids, and it's starting to take a toll on me. I feel like my postpartum depression is getting worse. I sit up most nights and I cry. I don't like any of his friends but one. I have been sneaking around with one of his... I've been sneaking around with one of his friends for the last year. It has been some of the best sex of my life. Now, my boyfriend is cool. He can go down for hours. No complaints there. But everything else is an endless shrimp dinner. Everything else is an endless shrimp dinner. sex with him probably lasts about 15 to 20 minutes, and I never have the big O. I always have to finish after he gets me halfway there. And when I say halfway, by time I start getting very wet, he's finished. He says it's too slippery, it's too deep, and it's too... excuses. However, his best friend has been making sure to put it down every night. You want to know how? Because my boyfriend still thinks that I work overnight shift. However, I quit that job months ago because his friend has been giving me money to help with the bills around the house. He's actually been taking care of so much stuff that I stay overnight at his house. I park my car at the hospital and he picks me up and I go straight to his house. We park my car at the hospital just in case my boyfriend drives by and sees my car there. With me working in the ER, it'll be hard for anybody to find out if I'm there or not. The state that we live in is always busy, and the hospital that I work in is in a low-income area. You should have just said in the hood. Okay, sorry. Wow, okay. It started out as his friend coming in for a gunshot wound. Whoa! What? His friend came to the hospital with a gunshot wound, and I was his nurse on duty. We laughed and we talked, and he told me because I took so much great care of him, and that's what she said, so much great care of him, that he wanted to give me a tip. The tip was $500, Nanny Q. That was the first time a man had ever given me that much money at one time. And all I did was my job. We still talked every so often, and on my nights off I always cook dinner, and he seemed to always be at my house when I cook dinner, so I always made sure to make his favorites. My boyfriend is allergic to shrimp, however my side dude loves my shrimp and Alfredo. What is it about Alfredo? What? My side dude has a 2-year-old, and he brings his 2-year-old over to play with my kids a lot when he's there with my boyfriend. I don't have a problem with that because he always makes sure to take the kids to the park, and he does a lot of cool activities with them. My dude just thinks it's a play date. However, I think his best friend is trying to be the main dude, and I have no problem with that. The only issue that I have is that his best friend is his brother. Yep, that's the secret, Nanny Q. My boyfriend, baby daddy, best friend is his brother, and I have been messing around with him for a while. Besides the great sex, he's also taking care of my household in ways that I never thought a man would do things like this for me. He buys me shoes, he buys me clothes. I have everything that I want. I just can't be with him because I'm with his brother. The reason that I'm emailing you is because I think that I'm ready to make this switch. I think that it is about time for me to remove myself from both of them. And the only reason I want to remove myself from both of them is because I've been seeing a doctor that works. I've been talking to the doctor that works at the hospital with me overnight. For the last 6 months, me and him have been making sure to see each other when I come in for my morning shift. Yep, you heard me. I only have one job. I quit the other night job, but my baby daddy still thinks I work at the hospital overnight. Actually, I work there during the day. Me and this doctor have a lot of patients that we see together. We sneak off in different rooms together, and I just really think that he's the best catch for me. He wants to help me go back to school so I can become an LPN. Okay, let me get that money back. The only thing that's the problem is that he wants more kids, and I don't have a heart to tell him that I can't have any more kids because I got fixed. You know, just because you got your tubes tied don't mean, because people still have kids after they get their tubes tied. I didn't seen it. I got a client now. I'm her doula. She's doing January, and her tubes were tied for 13 years, and she's pregnant. It happens. It happens. It happens. Nanny Q, if I leave my boyfriend and stop seeing his brother just for this doctor, will I be crazy? The doctor lives on the better side of town, and he told me there's no problem and there's enough room for me and my kids to move in. He also said that he'll help me pay for childcare so I can focus on school and being a housewife. I've always wanted to be a housewife just so I can focus on myself and have a break. This will be the first time that I haven't worked, and I've been working since I was 15. So for the last 12 years, all I know is to work, come home, work, and come home. To be able to go back to school, to actually get my LPN license like I've always dreamed of, really makes me want to leave everything behind and go. I've never had relationships with a doctor. I never had relationships with the doctor. We've only been doing backdoor services. That's relations. We've only been doing backdoor services because he gets so turned on about it, and I do too. After every patient, by the end of the day, he makes me take off my underwear and give it to him because he says he loves the smell of a working woman's underwear. At this point, Nanny Q, I am so lost. I want my kids to have the best education. I want them to be able to see their mom happy and not hurt. What should I do? Sign the new LPN backdoor. What's a lot? It's a lot. Not that, I mean, the email didn't go the way that I thought I did. I thought this was getting ready to go. That totally swoop whoop whoop me, like whoop whoop, like I thought I was going straight down the expressway, and it was like the GPS said turn right, and I just had to turn real fast. Always do what's best for your kids and for you. I tell women all the time, never stay in a situation because you want to be able to say, oh, my kids have a two-parent household. That two-parent household sometimes can have a lot of women depressed, and a lot of men too, because I've talked to men who said they only stayed because of the kids, and now they have wasted so many years of their life living a lie just to make sure their kids are happy. And when their kids grow up, their kids resent them about it. And I tell my parents all the time, you have to be happy. You want your kids to see you being loved correctly. You want your kids to also see you in a healthy relationship. You want your kids to see you laughing and playing with your mate and doing things like that, because that kind of activity molds them into what they want to do. My daughter and my son always say that because they've watched my husband be playful with me, they're playful with their mates. My daughter is very romantic. She likes giving flowers. She does she's a very romantic person. She likes picnics and parks. She likes getting real dolled up and going on a date. My son likes to surprise, his girlfriend and do stuff with her. And I've seen my son make her plate and bring it to the table while she's sitting down. Things like this your kids pay attention to, because that's what my husband does. So this is why it's important for your kids to always see you in a healthy relationship, and not just mom in a healthy relationship, but both parents in healthy relationships. Never stay just because of the kids. Never stay just because of the kids. You really want to make sure that your kids are seeing you in these amazing relationships, because that passes down to them. So you're making better humans. And I tell people all the time, I had that whole, I gotta be in a two-family household because that's all society was telling me. And society wasn't telling me, you leave when this happens. No, society only gives you this picture of, oh my God, it's so easy. You just stay, y'all, work it out no matter what they do. No, that's not fair, because a lot of times we're only doing this to keep up with the Joneses. We're not doing this to keep up with us or to make sure that we're happy. We're staying in relationships because we want to make sure that people on the outside see we got somebody. And that should be the farthest thing ever. You shouldn't care if a person knows that you're single or you're with somebody, as long as you're happy. I'm gonna say, do what makes you happy. That's all I got. Is do what makes you happy. Yeah. Do what makes you happy. Make sure that you are happy with everything. And also remember, your kids are watching. Your kids are watching. And I didn't tell my kids why me and the guy who signed that birth certificate didn't work out until my kids were 13 and 14. And I still remember the day I did it. And the reason why I waited until they were that old is because now they were at an age where they could understand why I did it, why I left, why I made sure to protect them and me, and not be resentful or you just done it. No. I have had friends who parents stayed together until the kids got out of high school and then they got a divorce. That just makes that child feels even worse, because you endured all of this pain and hurt and stuff just to put a fake facade. So you're teaching me to belittle myself. You're teaching me to take the bare minimum just to make sure people on the outside think I got it all together, and that's not fair. You want your kids to understand that you can do it with one parent and both parents, and sometimes it can be a step parent, but you're always telling your child, make sure that the love is healthy, the love is pouring back into them. It's never a one-sided thing. That's all I got. Okay.